telling yourself that now is not the right time to actually dedicate some effort to growing on social media. Stop telling yourself that the opportunity has passed, but also stop telling yourself that you've got to wait to achieve X, Y, Z before you actually give it a proper go. Because I'm here to tell you that both of those are just excuses, and that actually right now, but more specifically the year 2023, is the perfect time for you to dedicate some time and effort to growing online. Now, the opportunities available to social media creators at the moment are absolutely insane. Whether you're trying to use social media to grow your business, to grow your influence, to grow your income, to build a community, whatever it is, now is the best time for you to do so. So in today's video, which by the way is sponsored by Later, I can't wait to tell you all about their incredible platform in just a bit. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact steps for you to follow in order for you to grow on social media in 2023. But before we get to it, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I upload new videos every single week. All right, so step one. The first thing I'm going to need you to do is to make a commitment. Now, this commitment needs to be to yourself, but also to like your journey. That's so dramatic. Straight in with the dramatic lines. Now, the reason why I want you to make a commitment, and what I mean by this, is that your growth on social media is not going to be linear. It's going to be more like this, right? And the people who see the most success on social media are the ones who are able to ride that wave and weather the storm. So the ones who can deal with the fact that at times growth is going to be slow. Growth may even go backwards. You might lose some followers. You might lose some subscribers. The people who are able to weather that storm are the ones who usually see success, right? So when I say make a commitment, what I mean is I want you to commit yourself to growing a specific social media platform, or maybe multiple, for a certain period of time. Now, I've spoken about this a couple of times, but when I started my journey back in 2020 in November, it's the 2-year anniversary, I actually told myself that I was going to upload at least one video per week on YouTube for an entire year. And I did not let myself waver from that commitment. I said, it doesn't matter how badly my content is performing, and spoiler alert, at the beginning, it really was performing badly. It doesn't matter how badly my content is performing, I'm going to upload consistently every single week on YouTube for at least 1 year. And it is only after the 1 year point can I take a step back and think, okay, what do I want to do with this channel, right? And that commitment carried me. If I had not made that commitment at the start of my journey, I probably would have given up around month 4 when I was consistently getting 5 to 10 views, and I could literally name to you exactly who those people were because they were all my friends and family. It could be very demoralizing when that's happening. So you've got to make a commitment for a decent amount of time. Make sure that it's specific and that it's measurable, because that is what's going to carry you through and make sure that you stay committed to your social media growth. Step number 2, I'm going to need you to make a consistency plan. It's so funny, the word consistency. Well, not the word, but the whole concept of being consistent on social media is really funny. And the reason why I say that is because the concept of being consistent on social media is incredibly simple. We're literally just saying, okay, I'm going to upload 5 Instagram posts a week, 2 YouTube posts a week. You're just saying how much content you're going to share on a weekly basis, and you're sticking to that, right? So it sounds super simple, yet for most creators, it is one of the hardest things for us to stick with. And also, it's one of the most effective. It's simple, it's effective, yet none of us really want to do it. So if you sit in the camp of thinking, oh, consistency is tough, which I'm willing to bet most people watching this feel that way. I mean, I feel that way as well. I have got just the tool for you. Now, the tool I'm referring to is Later, who is also the sponsor of today's video. Now, Later is a social media scheduling tool, which I use to schedule all of my Instagram content, but also my marketing VA actually uses Later to schedule my Pinterest content too. Yes, your girl has a Pinterest if you was not aware. So it is the perfect tool for anyone who has one social media site or multiple social media sites and who are trying to really tackle and grow on social media in the coming year, because the tool is designed to help you be consistent, right? So I'm going to give you a few reasons why I love to use Later. So firstly, it's super visual. So I'm going to put a little screen record right now on the screen so you can see what my Later currently looks like. I actually plan all of my Instagram content 1 month in advance. Now, what you can see on this screen recording is that Later actually has a preview tab, and the preview tab allows you to see all of your scheduled content and rearrange it so that it looks visually appealing. Now, I know for some people they'd be like, what's the point? But for others, that will absolutely light them up. I sit in the camp where that lights me up, because I like to visually see how my content looks together, just to make sure that it's well placed. And that is one of my favorite features on Later. In addition to that, Later does allow you to schedule your content in advance. You can even turn on the auto publish setting, which will allow your content to be automatically posted to your social media channels without you having to lift a finger. Now, this feature is one of my personal favorites when I am on holiday. So if I'm on holiday but I'm still trying to be a consistency queen, I will turn on that feature because it will automatically share my content. Like, I don't even need to open up the app, guys. I just get a notification like, hey hun, it doesn't actually say hun, but I'll just get a notification being like, hey, your post is live. We've done the work, it's done, it's out there. People are interacting with it. It's doing its job. You didn't need to do a thing. So it really does eliminate that excuse for consistency where people are like, I just don't have the time. Because realistically, if you've scheduled your content out, the actual posting process doesn't have to take you any time at all. Later also has some really cool analytical tools. For example, it has a best time to post calculator. So Later will actually show you like when you should be scheduling your content based on the insights and analytics that they gather from your profile and how your content performs. You can even schedule reels using Later as well, and you can upload a cover photo for reels as well. I'm going to show you a bit of behind the scenes as to how I would schedule my own reel using Later. So I'm going to drag and drop a video, and let's say I'm going to post on Saturday, which I don't usually like to do because I just don't feel like anyone wants to hear me talk about marketing on a Saturday. Let me know if I'm wrong. So I've just dragged and dropped a video, and what's really cool is that Later is going to show me if I need to make any changes to the dimensions of the video based on Instagram's platform. So right now it's telling me the video is too long and I need to trim it. So I'm going to edit the video and potentially make it a bit shorter using the trim function here, and just basically trim it so it's a bit shorter. So now that it's been trimmed and it's the right specs, you can see here that it's automatically detected that I probably want to upload this as a reel. So it's selected post type reel, right? Now what I want to do is select a cover. I'm going to pick a random one here, update the cover, and then I'll be able to write a post caption, which I always do all of my captions in Later, and I insert my hashtags as well. You can even do things like use their link in bio tool, add a first comment, add a location, and you can decide whether your reel is going to be shared to your grid or just to your reels tab. So you can do all of this, pick a time where you want it to go live, Saturday, 2 p.m, which is just not going to happen because I'm just going to be relaxing, hopefully with a glass of wine somewhere. So then once you do that, you'll see that it will just load and it will appear as scheduled under Saturday with the little notification of automatic, which means that that post will automatically be shared on my profile on Saturday. So that is how you can use Later to be consistent on social media. Step number 3, know which content drives results for your social media channels and dial those up. This is one of the best pieces of advice that I could ever give anyone in life, not just even to do with social media, just in life. This is the best piece of advice that I could ever give you, right? If you've been on social media for more than 3 months already, so you've got more than 3 months worth of posts to look at, I want you to look at the analytics behind your social media channel. So on Instagram, it's your insights, TikTok, it's similar, on YouTube, it's your analytics. Get those up, look at how your content has performed over the past 3 months, and I want you to find your best performing content, right? Look for the reels that got the most amount of views, look for your posts that got the most amount of engagement, right? Look for your best performing content. And what I then want you to do is to try and find synergies between that content. So look at your best performing content and ask yourself, okay, wait a minute, is it that majority of my best performing content shows my face? Have I noticed that majority of my best performing content in terms of engagement seems to have a longer caption? Have I noticed that actually my reels outperform my photos? On TikTok, have I noticed that my vlogs outperform all my other style of content? On YouTube, is it that my how-to content is better than my lifestyle content? Like, just look at your best performing videos from the past 3 months or more and try and find some trends and some patterns in between them. Now, once you've done that, you quite literally have a playbook for how to create better performing content in the future. Your analytics will tell you what content you should continuously produce. So instead of just reproducing content that actually is not performing well and your analytics will tell you is not performing well, why don't we focus on the content that is performing well? I know that sounds so simple, but a lot of us forget to do this, right? Figure out the type of content or the style of content that performs best for your social media channels and dial those up, right? Just continuously share content that mirrors that format or mirrors that style, and you'll see a huge increase in the performance of your social media channels. Step number 4, set goals, but also KPIs. Now, KPIs stand for key performance indicators. So you probably heard that and thought, still don't understand what you're saying. Now, if you're not familiar with a KPI, let me just break it down for you. KPIs are basically like mini goals. So let's say hypothetically, you have a goal to reach 10,000 followers on TikTok within the next 6 months, right? That is your goal. What a lot of us will do is we'll set that goal and be like, great, I've set a goal. That's what Jade told me to set a goal. So I've done it, right? Let's move on to step 5. However, if you have not taken the time out to set a KPI, which is like a mini goal, which allows you to check if you are on track for your big goal, then you haven't quite completed this step. So in this example, you've decided that you want to have 10,000 followers on TikTok by August, right? Great. If you just set that goal and leave it alone, what's going to happen is you will get to August, you'll look at that goal and be like, oh, I've not hit it. And by that point, it's already too late. If you set a KPI that in the next 3 months, you need to have 5,000 TikTok followers, that means that you have set a little mini goal that is going to allow you to see if you are on track for your big one. So in 3 months' time, when you check in on that KPI and you realize that actually you're only at 4,000 TikTok followers, now you can take a step back and think, okay, what am I going to do differently for the next 3 months that's going to help me reach my big goal? Or you check in and you're like, oh, I'm at 7,000 TikTok followers. Great. Should you amend your big goal because you're already doing so well? Could you push it a bit higher, right? So that is the beauty of a KPI in very simplistic terms, or at least how I want you to use KPIs when it comes to you growing your social media, right? Set a mini goal as well as a big goal, because that's going to ensure that you're on track to meet that bigger goal. Step number 5, develop a repurposing strategy. This is a big one for all my content creators who are across multiple channels, but it's important for everyone as well. Now, there's 2 ways that you can go about creating a repurposing strategy, which by the way just means that you repurpose your content. Because spoiler alert, if you are going to be consistent across social media for the next 5 to 10 years or however long you're going to be consistent for, you're going to need to repurpose some content. Like, you are going to run out of some ideas. I hate to break it to you. So there's 2 different ways that you can create a repurposing strategy. The first way, and this is the way that I do it, is that I pick a lead channel. So if you're across multiple social media channels, this is going to work for you. My lead channel is YouTube. YouTube dictates what I talk about across all my other channels. It is my lead channel, and I pick YouTube because when I have to prep for a YouTube video, it requires a lot of work, it gives me a lot of content, and it's a lot easier for me to make a YouTube video and then turn those notes into multiple other pieces of content, into podcasts, into Instagram reels, into story content, into TikToks, into Pinterest. I can do all of that from one YouTube video. The other strategy is to do it by topic. So you could pick one thing that you're going to talk about that week, or one element of your niche that you're going to talk about that week, or one part of your life that you're going to talk about that week. And you use that one topic and you turn that into multiple different pieces of content that will work across different channels. Pick which strategy works for you. Give it a go and stick to it for at least a couple of months so that you can get used to it, because repurposing is truly going to be one of your biggest superpowers when you become like a fully fledged full-time content creator. Step number 6, this is the final step. Now that you know what content's performing well, you're repurposing your content, you've got a good flow going, you need to turn that into a content creation system, which probably sounds very daunting, but it's not as scary as it sounds. It's basically the system that you follow in order to create content on a weekly or a monthly basis. Now, I have a whole video where I show you my exact content creation system for Instagram, which I'm going to link up here. But essentially how it works is I will dedicate one block of time to planning my content. I'll dedicate one block of time to creating my content, a block of time to editing my content, and then a block of time to scheduling my content on later. And I will do that in like chunks of time throughout the month, and altogether it will mean that I will spend a couple of days worth of time every single month scheduling all of my content for Instagram. So I do it all in batches so that I can get it done, stop thinking about it, and basically let my Instagram run itself. And whilst that video focuses on Instagram, I do actually do that across pretty much any channel that I'm on. So it really can work regardless of the social media channel that you're on. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. I really hope you found it useful. Don't forget to like and to subscribe and to do all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do to support my channel. If you feel like hanging around, I I recommend watching this video. It's another step-by-step, but this time it's how you can go from 0 to 10,000 followers on Instagram in the next couple of months, right? Thank you so much for watching this video as always. I can't wait to see you in my next one.